What is the soul? I've always felt like I've had a crazy relationship with my soul, but I've never been able to locate it. You can't really find it. I think I heard recently as synchronistically as this crazy universe is, everything kind of comes together at the perfect time and recently I saw that somebody said the most essential things are invisible, and I thought it was beautiful because I was like, that is entirely true. Once you need something, it becomes revealed to you, but only when you know that you need it will it be apparent to you. So it's true that the most essential things are invisible. So it's like you don't need to know the structure of the soul in its geometrical form all the time. Like that's just like impossible to know. You can't ever really know what the soul in its entirety looks like. Like you can imagine it as much as you want though, and I have so many times like as like a singularity, as like a black hole. Like you can see your soul as a in a million different ways, but at the end of the day it's just more beautiful to know that it is a part of course it's a part of you, but it's a part of all things, and it's a part of all things, and it's deep. It's like the deepest you can go within yourself. And as an artist, it gives you, I think, artistic freedom to just be yourself. To know your soul gives you artistic freedom to be yourself. And and if you don't understand anything about your soul, if you go through your life without knowing your soul at all, then I think you find your soul within your presence. It's definitively within your presence. If it's within anything, it's within your presence. So you use your you find your presence. What kind of presence do I radiate to the world? Who am I? What am I? Um and and then you start to realize your soul. I have one crazy story where this where I was like I was going crazy. I was like smoking way too much. I was on the verge of psychosis, but I was just like, I just want to keep going deeper just to see what's up and what's happening. And I'm just gonna keep like diving deeper and deeper into myself. And I've always felt such like a strong connection to my soul that I've never lost it. You never lose your connection to your soul. You think you can, but it does not necessarily make you evil. Like, you can think yourself and wander around in your thoughts for, like, eternity and be like, "Shit, I have to, like, reconnect with my soul, like, really fast because the because I don't wanna lose it." You don't wanna lose your soul. I mean, like, it's an important thing not to lose your soul because it's real. Your soul is real. It's like you can beat around the bush all day, but everybody has a soul, and, uh and it's a beautiful thing that everybody is a creator of their own soul, whether they want to be or not. Like you are creating your soul, and it's. I think the most beautiful thing about a soul is its musical properties because, well, I mean, I don't know. I guess I want to think about it from this perspective, from the perspective of somebody that's highly imaginative and creative. A soul to me, in its most beautiful, I wrote recently that a soul to me, in its most beautiful form, is a constant explosion of love within inside yourself. You're constantly pushing forward into the future, into the most unknown places, into the darkness of humanity, just to find what's there. And that's what makes the most beautiful soul. It's kind of like a flame deep within you, and you don't know why it's there. You don't understand it, but you know you don't need to understand it, but just because it's such a calming force. Because I've looked at so many like soul structures before. I've been like, how can I how can I explain soul structures? They're like essentially everything you want, but the most beautiful one that I ever saw was I mean, like, it's not mine. It's just a part of everything. I think it's so beautiful because that's the truth. It was just something that, like, happened, as we all are. We're all just ourselves. We're all just things that happen, like, and it's so beautiful because it was so musical. Whatever you said to it, it like it helped you find the way through itself just as much as it was like helping you find your way through yourself, which was a beautiful thing. I mean, I said it was my soul, and then I was just like, well, why don't I just sell it? Because 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 I just wanted to see what like happened, but I didn't end up doing that. I was just like, okay, I guess I shouldn't sell my soul, even if it sounds fun. Don't do that. Um, and and um, and everybody like knows that. Don't sell your soul. It is like a beautiful synchronistic event deep within you that you don't understand, but you understand that it's like it's kind of driving you into the future, whoever you are. Everybody has their own body. Everybody wants to be different people though, so it's like, oh, my soul's better than yours. There's going to be no comparison there. It's just souls aren't things you can compare to each other. They're so beautifully unique that you would fall in love with every single one of them. I mean, it's just you understand if somebody allows you to see their soul, you would understand them so deeply as yourself that you would just want to have a conversation with them for a long time. It's like, thank you so much for showing me your soul. Like, it was just like amazing. Like, I can't believe that you showed me your soul. Like, um, yeah. I took a picture of my soul a long time ago and it hurt really badly. I don't know why though. Probably because it didn't want to be pictured or something. Yeah, I don't like pictures taken of me. I'm always like, hell no. But I understand it's like cool or whatever, but um no, I think something happened where I was like taking a picture of my soul and it turned out to be this like beautiful um like not a fractal but it was kind of like a black hole. It was like not to be like, oh, my soul is a black hole. I'm the devil, but it was like a beautiful singularity. It wasn't really a black hole. It was just an image of cool stuff. But whatever I looked into it, it kind of like my observation of it kind of like went around in circles, and I was just like instantly falling in love with it because uh, because I valued it so much. And um, I mean, I thought about it. I've always thought about my soul um, as a beautiful entity as well as something that's intangible, which is kind of strange to think that something can be that way. But that's also just like the nature of reality. You can think like, I mean, it took me a long time to become comfortable with the fact that there's an objective reality and there's a subjective reality. But sometimes you can only find your way to that subjective reality. You get lost in the mix of things, of all the thoughts, of all the images, of all the words. And you start thinking like, I can't get out of my own head of um I can't get out of my own head about everything. But and it's true. It's everybody's in the same place. If you're not a problem to yourself, then you're not a problem to anybody else. But I just love talking about the soul because I find it so fascinating, and from a creative standpoint, it has like infinite potential to be creative. Like it's just like, but it's not just going to do whatever you want. It's not just like a powerhouse of a bat, or it's not just a battery of it's a creative center, and it's a my soul is a creative center. It's an imaginative place. It's a beautiful place. It's a sacred space. It can be all these things, and you just have to be careful about how. I mean, talking about my soul is different than talking about anybody else's soul, I guess. Um, I don't know. How can you come to value your soul more purely? I guess just continue thinking about it and finding the way to. I don't know. You can find your way through your soul, but you don't want to do that. I mean, you don't want to just like go straight through your soul. It wouldn't be a good thing to do that. It feels like my soul is made of dreams sometimes. Like sometimes I find myself lost in an ancient dream that I or someone else must have had about me through my experience or something like that, which makes things like really complicated to think that somebody else is like dreaming through your experience. Because I feel like I've like been here before, which is strange, but maybe it's just recurring problems or recurring energies, thought patterns, that type of thing that you only have to realize though, which is kind of a beautiful thing. Sometimes you just have to realize something, and then you're kind of free after you realize that. If somebody else realized it, then you can totally realize it as well. But as far as the soul goes, I think, yeah, you find your presence and then try to discover your soul or something. It's not something that can be sold. It's not. It's just you can't sell your soul. You'll always find your way back to it, at least. Even if maybe you wandered really really far away from your soul and you're not sure how to get back or something, but life goes on. I mean, we're all dealing with problems, and I'm just happy to be here right now talking and continuing to try to fix things. And anyway, I want to talk about this crazy dream as well. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I think the most beautiful soul structure though is the if you want to try to design your own soul, you can try, but they're mostly gifts from the universe that's just synchronistically. I mean, I don't think anybody went around like building souls. I pretended that I did a long time ago. I was just like, all right, so how can I do this thought experiment where I'm building everyone a soul because I wanted to. I was just like, I have enough love in my heart to get through the darkness, to find at the very bottom of the collective unconscious a gift for everyone, that I created your soul. And I wanted you to have a beautiful soul, a beautiful experience with as much artistic freedom as you pleased, to build a soul that you thought was beautiful. Because I mean, why not? We should get to that point where we're, but it's very deep. It's very sacred space. You can't just like go there with a false intention. It's nearly impossible to do something so beautiful without a good intention. I mean, you can't just. So yeah, I had this thought experiment. I was just like, how can I create a beautiful soul uniquely for everyone? You'd have to meet everyone, which would be nearly impossible, but maybe it is possible. Who knows? But I think the most important thing would be to give people the artistic and creative freedom to find and discover their own soul for themselves. That would be the most that would be beautiful. When it's not an easy thing to just discover your soul sometimes. I mean, you you can. It's not like you're evil for not knowing your soul. It's just that you have more of an adventure to have than anybody else. Like, it's that you have to wake up much. It's that you're deeper in the dream than basically ever before if you're not aware of your soul right now with me. Because with if you're with me, um, then you're probably aware that souls exist. But I don't know. Um,
yeah, I'm just gonna. Sometimes you find the soul just in silence, and you don't have to talk about it. It doesn't have to be an object, it doesn't have to be anything. It's just a sense of becoming, it's a sense of growing and changing and trying to find my way in this crazy world and through all my thoughts and through all the imaginings and designings and dealing with money and trying to find my place within this entire system and as a person and as a man and um, as a being of light and of someone who enjoys um, being present and learning the capacity of my own mind from within um, and just trying to have fun with it, but knowing that I don't want to do too much. I don't want to, because the crazy experience with my soul was that I was like looking at my own soul from like a different dimension or something, and I was like, whoa. How was that even possible that I was like doing that? I was like with my roommate and my neighbor upstairs. We were outside, and and I was like, how do I even explain to myself that I was looking at my own soul through a different time? It sounded like a huge like demon though. It was like, I'm looking at your soul, and I was like, oh fuck, I can't take it. Run! So I didn't tell anybody. I just like kept my mouth shut, and I was just like, "Yeah, I'm having a good time out here, guys. I'm totally having a good time." Somebody was just like looking at my soul from a different dimension. I'm not sure if it was like me or if it was like, if it was like, if it was a crazy experience or something. But anyway, the um, but I was like, yeah, I was like looking at my own soul, which was like insane. Um, I mean, yeah, that's beautiful too to realize who you are. You know, don't 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 not realize who you are. It's like the beauty of someone's soul. If you can't see yourself in the beauty of someone's soul, it's not that it's not you. It's not that it's something that can't awaken within you as well. It's that you just haven't realized it for yourself, who you can be, who you want to be. But also respecting the individuality of people is important as well. People realize things in their own time. Everything happens beyond your awareness. What people are to you is not what they are to themselves. Like, you come to a conversation and you always have like six people present, as Carl Jung said. There's like how you perceive yourself, how the other perceives you, and the other how you perceive yourself, how the other perceives you, and how like the world perceives you. I don't know. There's like six people present within conversations, which just makes things more complicated. Um, I don't know. Sometimes the soul can be like locked down as well. I guess I'm just gonna talk about my thoughts on the soul. Sometimes you can like lock your soul down and like it becomes connected to the heart where you're using your heart to lock down your soul. Like that's entirely possible as well. I think the only way to open up a soul after it's been you can use your soul to unlock your heart, um, because the soul is just it can synchronistically and beautifully and powerfully like open up your heart, um, and the soul, um, the only reason the soul can do that is because it's been it's older than it's older than everything. It's like the soul of the world is older than everything. The eternal soul is just it's just more beautiful than anything you can imagine. I had a experience recently where I was in the car and I was like trying to figure out my thoughts on religion and the collective unconscious and all these things, and I just suddenly and powerfully I embodied the eternal soul and realized like viscerally that I was the eternal soul. It's just it is you. It's not anything that you are ever really away from. So you're like I'm the eternal soul and you have to like contend with that in your mind. Sometimes you realize things and your memory kind of goes crazy when you uh, when you realize that you are the eternal soul, because being eternal is not easy to deal with. It's just like I'm eternal. Like, how can I even contend with that? It changes your whole perspective upon reality, because you're just I'm an eternal soul. Like, to realize that deeply is to realize everything that you've ever wanted is true. I mean, to realize that is just the most beautiful thing, because and it wasn't for me only because I don't think I was like doing it right or something. I was just like, oh fuck, I'm the eternal soul. Great. Like, it was just kind of like a joke, but I should have been taking it seriously or something. But um, I gotta fix my thoughts upon religion and God and stuff, and respect them more. Um, and um, but I've always found myself in a weird place of I know just normal things aren't going to work for me. Normal normal is I've tried normal. It's just nothing I can do, but I admire people who are able to at least find some comfort in the normal way things exist. But in reality, I know that if I'm uncomfortable, somebody else is going to be uncomfortable. It's like if you have a problem within yourself that you are not able to contend with, then everybody else is going to have the same problem, which is strange to think. Like, something so big as like even like Amazon, Jeff Bezos, like how are those problems related to me? Like, I don't even know. It's just kind of crazy to think about um how crazy it is to think that the it's crazy to think that someone's problems, which seem so far away from my own, I still care about. I still care about somebody that's a billionaire who is just like trying to, you know, do something with his time just as much as I am. He's trying to do something with his he's trying to do something with his time just as much as I am, and how responsible am I for manifesting reality? I mean, I don't think I manifested reality as much as Jeff Bezos did, because I mean, he's he's like the he's the he's what is Jeff Bezos? Jeff Bezos is the I mean, I don't know really. Like, what is Jeff Bezos? Jeff Bezos is a billionaire who's almost like a trillionaire. He created Amazon. He like took over the postal service, and he made Amazon. Like, is that a good force though? I don't know. There's many different perspectives upon it, but um, I guess we're going to talk about Amazon instead, because the soul doesn't die though. The eternal soul doesn't die. It just doesn't. Luckily for us all, because it's just more beautiful than me. It's just so much more beautiful. Um, and you can learn to be as beautiful as the most beautiful soul, like in your own way. You can be artistic and dreams um, and I don't know where we find our soul, but and sometimes I take long trips away from my soul, just to see what's up with in other parts of myself. Like just what's going on over here. What's going up? What's going up over here? Um, and it was a crazy eternal soul trip. I only learned about the eternal soul for like a second from Robert Sardello's book that my dad bought me, I think. And it was about how to the eternal soul's name is Sophia. And I just wanted to date, honestly. I mean, like, if the eternal soul is real and her name is Sophia and she doesn't date me, like, not cool. I mean, like, all I wanted was a date from Sophia, but I could see she wanted nothing to do with me. So I guess I'm just stranded out here again. Just beyond time, beyond myself, beyond everything, just thinking about the soul, dreaming about love. How I want to be a part of everything, but you are a part of everything if you are the eternal soul. Like, you realize that if you are the soul, then you are a part of everything. You already are loved just as much as other people love themselves. You are loved, which is a strange thing to realize as well. Like, you are loved. If you love yourself, then other people love you, which is hard to realize as well. You don't have to love yourself, but I'm not trying to, like, I don't know, it just feels like I've been alone for too long. It just feels like I've been alone for too long. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, arguably you create your own soul in a way, but because I want the most beautiful soul, like everybody wants the most beautiful soul. You don't have to be good looking to have a beautiful soul. That's the funniest part, Somebody's soul can be completely you need somebody's soul. Sometimes you need somebody else's soul to be like something that you because you need to find a love, and it doesn't matter what they look like when you realize that there's a soul. There's a soul there. No matter how deep and far away we go from it, no matter who we become with ourselves, with our egos, with all that stuff, we can find the present moment again, and realize ourselves within the present as a soul. No matter how far we drift, no matter how far we distort ourselves, we can come back to reformulate, and souls do reform. I don't know if I destroyed my soul once, or did I just like die and reform it. Like, you can do that as well. Sometimes your soul structure might become so fucked up that you're just needing to die, and you're needing to have a spiritual death, or like something that kind of like reveals that your soul was not what you thought it was, or something. That's entirely possible as well. You can have like a soul distortion, soul perception distortion. You think your soul isn't as beautiful as you think it is, and it's just like, my soul isn't what I thought it was, and it's so much more beautiful. So I don't know where we go from there, but I've just learned to just take things slow when you don't understand like what to do next. But I gotta like um, regain my like trust with people and try to be a part of things again and do it slowly and consciously create, consciously, consciously build trust, consciously create, consciously build trust with your own soul as well. I don't think I ever like lost the trust of my soul because it's always been so important to me. It's always been so strong, strong a force. I think that would be awesome. The interplay between the soul and life force. That is one of the most beautiful things I could ever imagine. Because your life force is what animates life in so many different beautiful ways, and then you think about the soul of how that interplay works. You probably find so many synchronistically amazing details that you would just like be in such a creative, beautiful place that um um that you would just find yourself flowing along and just creating beautifully. And and that's what life's about, isn't it? Is just having a calm, present experience and learning to contend with your problems and what you can and what you can handle and what you can deal with and everything else is just um cake is just frosting on the cake, but you gotta understand what's important first and how to help the collective and how to help the um, how to help people find themselves. But for me, it's just been this um, for the past little bit. Um, for the past little bit, it's just been me trying to talk to myself about my own situation, my own thoughts on things, why I made the decisions I did, why the actions I took, and I mean, I'm not that far off from where I should be. I don't think I even could be, but um, I'm not that far off from where I should be. How can I be far off from where I should be? I don't even think it's possible, but you know, talking isn't very musical, but it can be beautiful in a different way. Um, I guess I'm just gonna be a talker. That's gonna be my profession. I'm gonna be a professional talker, but only on YouTube. Because I don't like people. I'm kidding. Um, I do like people. Sometimes, yeah, if you just realize your soul, you just automatically see it. You're just like, wow, I didn't know my soul was so beautiful. Like, oh my God, it's just like gently and calmly at peace with itself, no matter what happens. And yeah, no matter what happens, it'll be gently and calmly at peace with itself. Don't try to like fuck it up though. I mean, it'll bite you. It's not like it's like, it looks happy now, but all of a sudden it'll wake you up and you'll be like, oh fuck, I was neglecting my soul. And then you realize that it doesn't have to be friendly. Your soul's not like just like gonna let you do anything you want to it. Um, it's got feelings as well. It's kind of like a living entity. But I think the only reason that I've been able to objectively imagine my soul so much, because people like objective reality. It's like, I like things. When you're a man, you like things. I like things because I'm a man. and and when you like things a lot, then you try to realize the objective nature of things and try to like build things with your hands and um so I was always like interested in the objective nature of the soul and how I um and how to see it and how to understand it more deeply from an objective perspective. But it takes an incredible amount of trust for anybody to allow themselves to see their own soul from, and it's always like interconnectedness is always involved, because when you see your own soul, you see somebody else's soul. It's not like that happened like just to me. No experience is just a singular event that exists in nothingness or something. It's all connected. So point being, I'm waking up slowly, and your soul can wake up slowly if it was sleeping or whatever. But we'll figure it out. I mean, all the things that I've done, we'll figure it out. I know we will. I've made some big mistakes, so I mean, I can't remember them right now, but I know I have. I mean, like, everything happens for a reason, but you hurt people, um, and you got to move on. You got to understand the emotions that you're dealing with, of course. And another interesting aspect of emotions and the soul. I got to make videos about all this stuff because they all require more love and care and detail, and how to figure all that stuff out because it's so interesting to me. But it's nothing you can just like jump to as well. I don't know. So part of me is like this sacred person who's like interested in all these deep things, and part of me is just like a kid, and I'm just like, no, I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I want. I don't care what anybody tells me. I don't care what I don't care what anybody tells me. But a friendly, childish soul is if you can maintain a childish soul, it's almost more beautiful than having like an old soul. It's like I'm just a child. I just have like a childish soul, and if you can maintain that, then it's more beautiful and innocent than an old soul who knows the world more from a place of understanding. And so it's not like a game. It's not like a balance of how you it's not like a game of how you, I mean, maintaining your innocence is important. You can't just like not be you can't just not be a moral person. So it's a strange thing to think that having a childish soul is a beautiful thing because you understand, how is a child more beautiful than an adult? I mean, it's kind of like a give and take. It's like I understand that I understand. It's like having a childish soul is beautiful, and you don't want to let that go, and you don't want to like grow up, but you don't want to lose your soul as well, becoming an adult. So how do you even figure out how to do something about that? I don't know. Like, I want a childish soul, and I want to maintain my childish tendencies because I've always been a childish curiosity is just almost more beautiful than an adult's curiosity, which is more focused on the things they should be focused on. I mean, like, not that I wouldn't not that I'm not as well, but I guess just maintain a sense of maintaining a sense of childish curiosity has always been important to me because, I mean, I think my dad saw it as a beautiful thing, and he was like, damn, a sense of childish innocence is beautiful, and I always like took that to heart, like that's true. A sense of childish innocence, a sense of childish curiosity. The childish curiosity is beautiful because it is able to it's a beautiful thing to have a childish curiosity. It's fearless. It doesn't know what it's seeing. If it sees a monster,